Okay, welcome again to our Tuesday night shiur, Parashat Vayetze. So we called the shiur Yaakov Avinu's journey to the realm of darkness. And I think that there's, I don't want to say hidden messages, but I think that the Torah is going to reveal to us today what this journey of Yaakov Avinu and what Yaakov Avinu did, and how this relates to the galut, to the exile, and how it relates to the geulah, to the redemption. And really, Yaakov being the Bechir Sheba'avot, he was the top of the Avot. He was a mitigation of both Din V'Rachamim, of mercy and justice. He was the middle of Abraham and Yitzchak, and we'll see why only really Yaakov could do this job. And as we know that the name that HaKadosh Baruch Hu switched for Yaakov is really Israel. So really Yaakov becomes Israel, he becomes us. So I want to see tonight, the Torah, if you'll see in the Psukim, even the verses are going to relate to us a certain message that we didn't think that was there, and seemingly superfluous things that the story of Yaakov Avinu and how Yaakov Avinu is speaking, and everything that's happening around the story of Yaakov and Rachel, and all these things seemingly seems to be like the Torah is just telling us a simple story, but it's really all messages, and messages that are going to be relevant to us today, messages that are going to give us the secret on how to endure these last moments before the coming of Mashiach. So the Midrash starts, we know it says, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva, that Yaakov Vayetze, what does it mean? You know, there's many ways to say that somebody left the place. And the Torah wants to say over here that Yaakov, Vayetze Yaakov, and Yaakov went out. So usually that's not really if you look at the English translation, it says Yaakov left, but Vayetze means to go out. So the Torah could have said, Vayazov Yaakov. That's another word for leaving. Why did it say Vayetze? Where did he go out from? Where was he going out from? So we know Rashi says that because Vayetze Yaakov is when the tzaddik leaves, and Rashi with this word of Vayetze gives a couple pirushim. He gives a couple translations of why the Torah is using the word Vayetze. So I'll tell you what happens to Yaakov. You see that the pasuk over here, the Midrash tells us like this, that the Midrash is telling us what's going to be in the end of days. It says that V'zeu sheyeh betachlit hashfilut. It says Vayazarcha ke'afar haaretz u'paratzta yama, that the offspring of Yaakov Avinu is going to be like the sand of the land, and you're going to become multiple. And Piresh Asfornu, and the Sfornu comes and tells us V'zeh lashonu achar sheyeh zarcha ke'afar haaretz כי עניין ותשימני כארץ גבך וכחוץ לעוברים וזהו שיהיה בתכלית השפלות. You know, when the Torah says that the Jews are going to be like afar haaretz, like the sand, the ground of the land, like the dirt of the land. So it doesn't seem like the Torah is saying something to us that's going to be so wow. What do you mean like the dirt of the land? So comes the Sforno and says that really what this Midrash is telling us is like this. As tifotz ba'aretz asher ata shochev alea bechol tzad yama v'kedma. Only when the Jewish people reach their lowest, that they're going to be the lowest, that the Torah compares us to the dirt of the land. Ki umnam tshuat ha'el atidat yacharov shfilut Yisrael. The only time that the redemption is going to come is going to come at the time where we're compared to the dirt of the land. So doesn't seem like such a promising midrash, right? So why do we have to reach this low level? Why do we have to become to such a low level? And why is the Torah speaking to us about this with Yaakov? So Vayetze Yaakov, I'm gonna hopefully Be'ezrat Hashem show you tonight that the Torah says that Yaakov went out, it means Yaakov went out of his realm. What's the realm of Yaakov? The realm of Yaakov is Ish Tam Yoshev Oalim. He was a simple man that was supposed to be in the Beit Midrash, in the realm of Kedusha, in the realm of holiness, and that's where Yaakov is meant to be. But all of a sudden, through circumstances that are circumvented, between Yaakov and Esav, Yitzchak tells Yaakov, listen, go down to Lavan, because the women of Canaan are not for you. Go down to your mother's brother and find a wife. Really, the undertone message of what Yitzchak is telling to Yaakov, you're going to have to do something that neither me or your grandfather could do. You're going to have to go into the realm of darkness. You're going to have to go outside of your comfort zone. You're going to go to the Sitra Achra himself. You're going to the world of the Yetzer Hara. You're going to go head to head with the devil, and you're going to marry his daughter. That's what Yitzchak was telling Yaakov, but in so many, in little words. That's why the Torah says, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva. Yaakov had to leave. What does it mean he's going out? He went out of the realm of Kedusha and into the realm of darkness. Now we know that the Torah constantly reminds us that Maaseh Avot Siman Lebanim, that everything that our forefathers went through, that's a sign for us. It means that we're going to be living in something called the house of Lavan. We're also going to live there. So if you see, the Baal HaTurim says that you see by Parashat Vayetze that lo stuma velo ptucha. Usually in the way that the Torah works, there's sometimes the way that the Torah is made, there's sometimes parashot that are stumot, that they're closed off, and then there's a parasha that's open. So says the Baal HaTurim, why is this parasha? It's not closed nor open, it's just a continuation. It's continuously. Says, why is that? And if you look at the explanation of the Midrash, it says like this. Chazal tell us like this. It's very interesting that Chazal bring down, and they're coming to talk about this idea of, the Midrash says in Tehillim, Ilmale nafalti lo kamti. If it wasn't for the fact that I fell down, I wouldn't be able to get up. Ilmale yashafti b'choshech, says David HaMelech, if it wasn't for the fact that I sat in darkness, lo haya Hashem orli, Hashem wouldn't be my light. You see from here that the reason is that a person for some reason can't see the light unless he's living in the darkness. Comes the Gemara in Sanhedrin and tells us that before we get to the Gemara in Sanhedrin, we're going to see what how the Gemara relates to the time of Galut. So now Yaakov Avinu is going down. And very interesting that really the only time we see any one of the forefathers having a dream is Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu has a dream. He's on the way down. And by the way, what's the tefillah of Yaakov Avinu? The tefillah that Yaakov Avinu is which tefillah? Is which prayer? Arvi. Right? It's this prayer of the night. The prayer of the night is when really nothing is clear. Yet, it takes the Bechir Sheba'avot to deal with this. So as Yaakov Avinu is going down, he's going down, and then Vayivga b'makom hahu, he goes and he has this dream. And if you remember the dream, Yaakov Avinu sees a ladder, and he sees angels going up and down, malachim olim ve'odim bo, and each angel represents, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is showing him each galut, each exile that the Jewish people are going to, and then he sees each angel going up a few rings, and then he's falling, and another angel going up and higher, and then the angel of Esav going up even higher, and until Yaakov himself became scared of the angel of Esav because he was saw him going up. And Hashem says, don't worry, he's going to come down. And then if you remember the shocking midrash, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Yaakov Avinu and says, Yaakov Avinu, you also go up. But Yaakov Avinu says, I don't want to go up. They all fell, I'm going to fall also. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes to Yaakov Avinu and he says to him, if you go up, you won't fall. I promise you, you won't fall. So Yaakov Avinu says, Velo emin, and Yaakov Avinu didn't believe, Velo Allah. And he didn't go up. So we're all shocked, remember? How could it be that Yaakov Avinu, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling you, Yaakov Avinu, if you go up, I'll give you a promise. I'm promising you, you won't go down. You'll never go down. Yaakov Avinu didn't want to accept it. He didn't want to accept it. So what wasn't he accepting? And we brought many answers to this midrash because it doesn't make sense. And it says because Yaakov Avinu didn't go up at that moment and he didn't believe that thing, Am Yisrael has to go through an exile. And what, Yaakov Avinu was willing to accept that? That we would go through such an exile? So Baruch Hashem, I think that tonight I have an answer that I don't know about you, but it gives me a little bit of satisfaction. Because I had a very hard time with this midrash. Because it's not a fairy tale. Hashem is telling Yaakov Avinu to go up, and Yaakov Avinu doesn't want to go up. So tonight, God willing, I think we found an answer that gives us some kind of an idea. So again, there's an idea of Yaakov Avinu is going to present us what this last exile is going to look like. So Yaakov Avinu is going down. He has a dream, and you know what happens in a dream. In a dream, everything happens to you. Everything is mixed up. You don't know what's going on. Whatever comes in the dream, it's all mixed up. But really, the Chovot HaLevavot says, you know why Yaakov Avinu was the only person that could go down into the state of darkness? Because even when Yaakov Avinu was dreaming, he was still awake. He mastered the midah v'ishtavut. The midah v'ishtavut brings the Chovot HaLevavot. It's an attribute where a person is not scared by anything. Whatever happens to you, you stay steadfast. You're focused on the goal. This was Yaakov Avinu. Even in his dream, he was still awake. So as Yaakov Avinu, and we know the attribute of Yaakov Avinu is what? What's Yaakov Avinu? Emet. Right? Iten emet leYaakov. You have to bring, the truth is Yaakov. So watch this. This always, even as a kid, when I read this, it shocked me. You see Yaakov Avinu is going down. He's going down and he comes to the place where all these shepherds are waiting around to graze their flock. And he comes, you're a stranger, Yaakov, what are you doing? Vayomer, and he speaks to these, he doesn't know anybody. And he comes to them, Vayomer odayom gadol lo et sefer miknei ashku atzon ulchu ve'u. Comes Yaakov and he says to them like this. He says, because there was a rock covering the water. So he glanced and he looked and he says to the shepherd that were lying beside it, he goes, why don't you give water to your flocks? What are you doing? Start working over here. So they tell him, listen, we have to wait. We can't do it until all the other shepherds come because it's a heavy stone and we can't do it. He's still in the midst of the conversation with them. All of a sudden Rachel comes out of nowhere. And look what the Torah says. Vayika asher ra'a Yaakov et Rachel bat Lavan. And as Yaakov saw Rachel, the daughter of Lavan Achimo, and he saw this, what did it say? Vayigash Yaakov vayagel et ha'even me'al pi ha'be'er. He did it by himself. All of a sudden Yaakov Avinu becomes a superhero, and he takes the rock off by itself, right? Like it was nothing. All these shepherds are sitting there, and Yaakov Avinu takes the rock off of itself. Comes Rashi says, Kemisha ma'avir et ha'pkak me'al hatzluchit. You know what that means? It's like, you know, when you want to make a bathtub and you close the thing, you put a little thing, you close it, because that's how easy it was for Yaakov. Lo di'echa shekocho gadol, to tell you that the strength of Yaakov was big. So what's the Torah relating to us? What, the Torah wants to show us the strengths of Yaakov? The Torah is coming to show us, he says, you know what the end of Galut is? What's the Milchemet Gog uMagog? The Chidushei Arin brings down, and he says like this. He goes, you know what the final battle of Gog uMagog means? You're going to be so confused. A person's not going to have the ability to focus. Why? Because what's this scenario? All these shepherds around are telling Yaakov, no, you can't lift the stones. We got to wait for everybody. They're giving him excuses. They're philosophizing the whole situation. Yaakov Avinu doesn't pay attention to that. That's like a Jew when he's about to do a mitzvah. The Yetzirah comes to him, he says, no, you can't do it because it's not meant for you. He paints for you a whole story why you can't go and you have to do this. And it happened to you, and he thinks like everything that you are. It's like, imagine a person who starts to learn Torah. The second you open the book, all of a sudden, everything that you forgot about, all your duties of that day, come jump at you. That's the shepherds that are saying to Yaakov, no, you can't do it. And then all of a sudden, Yaakov, you lift the rock like it was nothing. He saw Rachel. What does the Rachel mean? Really, in the Sfarim, Rachel is an aspect of the Shekhinah. Rachel means he saw God. He had a clear vision. Seeing Rachel was like seeing God. Everything became clear to him. Oh, it's clear? No problem. I'll do the mitzvah. Take the rock off. Comes the Chidushei Arim and says, Yikar milchemet Gog uMagog. The main war of Gog uMagog, שקשה יהיה לאיש לצמצם מחשבתו לקרוא שמע ישראל. A person is going to find it so hard to focus even to read Shema Yisrael. You know when the Chidushei Arim lived? Way before smartphones. Way before. And it's going to tell you, you know what the challenge will be? You're going to be so unfocused in life that you won't be able to, the second you come into the, you want to say Shema, you want to say it with intent, you want to live that Shema. Because you won't be able to focus. That's the Milchemet Gog uMagog. A person can't focus. The world takes you it pulls you left, right, and center. You can't do it. So Yaakov Avinu is going down. And he's going down to the realm of Lavan. And look what happens in the realm of Lavan. He comes to Lavan, and he starts to work for him, right? And he starts to work for him. And after he works for him, what does Lavan? He does, he tricks him, right? He tricks him, and when Yaakov confronts Lavan about tricking him, what does he tell him? Comes Lavan and says, "V'lo yaseh kacha b'mkomenu." Oh, no, this is not how you do it here, my friend. In our midst, you don't know which midst. So no, Yaakov, you remember living in the realm of Kedusha. You're no longer in that realm of Kedusha. You now walked in to the darkness. And in the darkness, we don't give the young before the old. Because think about it, what was Yaakov telling Lavan? Give me my wife and I shall come to her. A tzaddik speaks that way because Yaakov knew where he was. And then when Lavan runs after Yaakov, because what happens to a person? Think about this. Yaakov went to the house of Lavan. So what's going on with Yaakov? Yaakov says, I don't understand. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, you revealed yourself to me. You told me that I'm going to be with you. Now you send me to this house of Lavan. And if you see the way Yaakov describes what happens to him in the house of Lavan, what does Yaakov say in the house of Lavan? He says like this. He comes to, when Lavan's chasing him, and today we're going to be a little technical because I want you to see it in the verses. Lavan is chasing Yaakov. After Yaakov finishes with Lavan, and he tells him like this. When Lavan tells him, why did you steal my tzon, and you did all this, and you left, so he comes to Lavan and he says to him like this, what chet do I have? When I worked for you, I had no night, I had no day. In the winter, the ice ate me, and every time we made a deal, you took me away from the deal. So he says to him, so what happened? So Yaakov could be, this is the life that Yaakov lived. Why is the Torah telling us that Yaakov is complaining about this? Yaakov's complaining and saying, look, I worked so hard. I did this for you, and I didn't see. And winter the ice ate me, and at night I couldn't sleep, and the day. But then what happens? As Lavan is chasing Yaakov, what happens to Lavan? Hashem reveals to him in a dream. Hashem comes to Lavan in a dream, and he says, "Vayavo Elohim el Lavan Arami bechalom laila." Comes to him in a dream of night. Vayomer lo yishamer lecha pen tedaber im Yaakov mitov ad ra. Be careful that you don't speak to this Yaakov, not good nor bad. What's the message? Hashem is telling you, folks, I know you're in the realm of darkness, and I know that you think I've left you. But what's going on, your lack of focus and your lack of understanding in this realm of darkness, don't worry, I already spoke to the Yetzer Hara. When you think he's about to destroy you, at that moment, the Kadosh Baruch Hu comes to him and says, don't talk to him anymore. Lo mitov ve'ad ra. Not from good and not bad. This whole Parashat Vayetze is telling us what's going on. When the Yetzer attacks you, it's a mind battle. He's coming to you and attacking you in the mind. He's trying to make you think that you can't do it. He's running after you. Look what the Satmar Rav says. The Satmar Rav says, you know what kind of trials and tribulations you'll have in the end of days? He says, forget about having problems in Parnasah. Forget about having problems in your livelihood. He says, you're going to have problems getting close to Hashem. Achshav, says the Satmar Rav, Kodem HaGeula, Ha'ester Kol Kach Gadol, the hiddenness of seeing a Kadosh Baruch Hu is so great, At Shenira Chas V'Chalila, says the Satmar Rav, the Rebbe Misadmer, it's seemingly Kilu Kol Oseh Ra Tov B'nei Hashem. Whoever does evil is good in the eyes of Hashem. Ve'ovdei Hashem, and the people that want to run after a Kadosh Baruch Hu, because really, what are you asking? Hashem, I want to know more Torah. Hashem, I want to do more mitzvot. He says, Ki'ilu mishamaya rotfim otam chalila. It's like in Shamayim, they're chasing you. You're having the hard time, and the guy that's doing opposite the will of Hashem is having it easy. Not only is he having it easy, when you want to get closer to Hashem, it seems like the battle's only getting harder. He says, that's the nisayon of the galut. But it only could be Yaakov that can handle this. And you see how is this all true? Because when Yaakov comes to see Esav, in next week's parasha, Yaakov comes to see Esav. And now Esav knows where Yaakov went. So he comes to Yaakov and he says, listen Yaakov, I know you've been affected, my friend. What's the first thing that Yaakov answers Esav? Esav, I know I lived with Bet Lavan Garti. I lived in the house of Lavan, but I want to tell you something. Taryag mitzvot shamarti. I kept the 613 mitzvot. What was Yaakov telling Lavan? You think I lost focus? What's a mitzvah? The Zohar explains to us that a mitzvah is an avenue to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Each 613 mitzvot are really 613 ways of connecting yourself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So when Yaakov Avinu says to Esav, when he comes to Esav, the first things he tells him, Esav, I know you think I've been in your realm, and I went in as Yaakov, and I came out as Esav. He goes, no, I went in as Yaakov, and I came out as Israel. I came out better. I went Taryag mitzvot shamarti. I kept focused on what I was doing, because I know I had to go into your realm. Because you're not doing the job, I have to do the job. I have to gain those sparks of Kedusha from the dark side. That's why I have to go to the house of Lavan. That's why I have to marry Leah. That's why I have to get Rachel. I went and I did it. I did the Taryag mitzvot. So now, what's going on? What's the message to us? Because really, in the end of days, when Yitzchak gave the brachot to Yaakov, it says, Vayten lecha Elokim mital hashamayim u'shmanei haaretz. He didn't give him the brachot with mercy. He gave him the brachot with the name Elokim. The name Elokim, you know what that means? Bedin. It's only if you really deserve it that you're going to get these brachot. So therefore, Yaakov Avinu has to get bedin. You know what it means to get bedin? Strict justice. You come in front of a judge, and the judge is going to be dotting the I's and crossing the T's on every single action you did, and only then are you going to be able to get the brachot. Now, what else is bedin? What else is bedin? The Geulah. The Geulah is also with strict justice. Why? Because in this last Geulah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not sending a shliach. He's not sending a messenger. The Geulah is also bedin. HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself has to save you. That's why Hashem says to Yaakov Avinu, don't worry, v'lo hezveka v'yeimach, I'll be with you. The deen is going to save you. HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself is going to save you. So how are we going to be zocheh to that? How are we going to merit that? So the Maharal tells us in Be'er Golah, he says like this. By the way, I know this seems a little bit of a downer, right? Because it seems like we're going to have to cross the I's and cross the T's. Dot the I's and cross the T's until we get this redemption. Not only that, the Gemara in Sanhedrin says like this, and Ben David ba, Mashiach is not coming, you're going to give up on redemption. You're going to be like, no, we can't be, nobody can take us out of this. It's so bad that we can't get out of this. But really, it's only a perception. It's like the ro'et son. It's like when those shepherds are sitting around and they're telling Yaakov, no, we can't lift it up. And then all of a sudden, Yaakov sees Rachel and he lifts it up like a pkak, like it was nothing. That's going to be the redemption. Now, what's our job in this redemption? What's our job here? So one of the Mefarshim brings down like this. He says, in the door called B'Shem Igveta de Mashiach, which is us, we're the end of the body. What's going to be our duty? How do we bring about Mashiach? If you look, he says like this. He says, you know what you're going to have to do? You're going to have to walk on dirt. You're going to have to go into the dirt itself. He says, in the generations before us, you know what our duty is? It's more force than mind. Yoter koach mimoach. You know what that means? It's when imagine a person who has ambition but has no ability, that's us. We have to let our ambition, our conviction guide us without thinking and without having rationale. He says, what is our duty? He says, the Tanaim and the Amorim before us, they built the building. The building's ready. What comes to us? He goes, but after the building's ready, you know what there is? There's the dust, and there's this dirt from the paint and everything. You know what we are? We're the Kelina. We're the polishing team. We come in, and we have to polish the building. And the people that come in and have to polish the building, there's no thinking here. Just do what you have to do. Clean the building and make it ready. But if you don't clean the building, if you don't polish it, you don't fix it, nobody can move in. That's our thing. We're the last result. We're the polishing team. We're here to polish the building.
The cleaners.
That's right. We're the cleaners. It seemingly to you like, it seems to you like it's the most demeaning job, but it's really the highest job. Because if you don't clean the building, nobody can move in. So everything they did before, it's great. You built the building. You put the foundations. Chazaku Baruch, good for you. But if somebody doesn't come in and make it livable, the building's nothing. We're the people that have to make the building livable. That's why we have such a hard time. Because we're the cleanup crew. And the cleanup crew has to deal with the most dirt. If you look at the way that the world is coming now, you know, we said this many times from the Or HaChaim HaKadosh. The Or HaChaim HaKadosh says that in Mitzrayim, when they had the redemption, HaKadosh Baruch Hu redeemed them right before they went to the 50th gate of impurity. The duty of Igveta de Mashiach, our duty as the last result is not only are we going to go into the 50th gate, we are living in the 50th gate. And we have to live in the 50th gate. What you see today is the 50th gate. And that's why it says, that's why Yaakov Avinu says, look what he says. The Chidushei Arim says, he says like this, that the Maharal brings down in Be'er HaGolah, says like this, Ubegalut acharon bi'igveta de Mashiach, yeh niftach shar anun shebetuma, the 50th portal of impurity will open up, sheyeh minut ve'apikorsut, there's going to be minut, people that are going against the Torah, people are going against Hashem, v'sharei mala min hashamayim, and they're going to send this to us from the heavens, and it's going to spread all over, and there's going to be a hard way to learn Torah, and it's going to be hard for a person to do any mitzvot. And what does he mean that it's going to be hard? It's not like today you look at the world and you see the world where like it's seemingly easy for you to do Torah. Yeah, it's easy. You walk into a Beit Midrash, it's full of books, it's full of everything, you're able to learn, but The cell phone walks in with you. So yeah, you're in the Beit Midrash, but if you take a normal person that's sitting and trying to learn, half the time his fingers are still moving. That's Milchemet Gog uMagog. A person can't focus. So he says that one of the sages before us, he says he had a dream, because you know what's going to happen? He says that in the end of days, a person, what's going to happen is, people not only are they going to do sins publicly, they're not even going to be embarrassed about it. He says, you know who's going to be embarrassed about it? The people that want to say the truth, that guy's going to have to look around. The person that wants to live Yaakov Avinu, that wants to be the Yaakov Avinu, before he speaks, he has to look around. And if you see, that's what's going on in the world today. That's Yaakov Avinu. Avraham did the job of, really in the end of days, the Kadosh Baruch Hu is asking from every single Jew, I want you to be Avraham. I want you to be Yitzchak, and I want you to be Yaakov. Why? Because the words to Avraham Avinu were Ataya Dati. I want now Ki Yarei Elokim. Because if you don't become an Avraham and pass this test, if you don't polish the building, there's nothing. Yitzchak Avinu, you have to see. Remember what we said last week? Yitzchak Avinu was the one that saw the good in everything. If you're in the dirt and you're only going to focus on the dirt and you're going to lose sight, you're not going to see a Kadosh Baruch Hu. You need the eyes of Yitzchak to go through this galut also. And of course you need Yaakov Avinu. Because you need to know how to live with Lavan and Taryag Mitzvot Shamarti. Only Yaakov Avinu was able to live in the realm of darkness and still stay focused on the Torah and Mitzvot. It didn't affect him. So on one sense, you think that you're the cleanup crew, you didn't build the building, you didn't do anything, but you're the crew that's able to go into the 50th gate of Tumah and not be affected. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is speaking to you like he's speaking to Avraham. He's saying the same way that when Avraham Avinu went to the Akedah, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu says, I beg of you, please Avraham, you have to pass this one. Because if you don't pass this Akedah, everything before will be nothing. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is speaking to you now as Avraham. He's saying to you, you have to pass this. I know you're in the realm of darkness. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is standing on the sidelines. He can't get involved. Because it's not his realm right now. He has to let you pass. He's a father that's looking on his son and praying for you to pass. That's your role as Avraham Avinu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is saying, please, I need you to pass this, because if you don't pass this, who cares about the building that they built? Then you have to be in Yitzchak. You know what an Yitzchak is? It's Mesirut Nefesh. It's conviction. It's willing to want to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and not be able to. It's willing, the Rabbi Nachman relates a story of the Ben Melech and the Ben Shifcha. Rabbi Nachman relates a story, says, you know what's going to be in the end of days? You know what's going to be your role? Imagine there was once a king, and the king had a maidservant, and the wife of the king and the maidservant were pregnant at the same time. And as they gave birth after 9 months, the babies were switched. So the maidservant who had a baby, he lived the life of a prince. And the real prince went to live the life as a son of a maidservant. He became a slave, seemingly a slave. So Rabbi Nachman relates to us in the story, he goes, that's what's going to happen to every single Jew in the end of days. You're going to be a prince who's living in the clothing of a slave. You're going to be Yaakov in the house of Lavan. And you're going to have to endure. And you're going to ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I don't understand. Am I the prince or am I the son of the maidservant? Who am I? You're going to lose your sense of who you are. Because you're in the realm of darkness. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu has to stand on the sidelines. Because you have to pass this one on your own. So it seems like that's the justice, that's the deen. That's why Geulah can only come when you do it this way. Because strict justice is, when it comes a time to redeem you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come to the heavenly court and say, how can I not redeem them? Look, I didn't even help them. They did it all on their own. They went out of their realm. Vayetze Yaakov mi Be'er Sheva. They went out of the realm of Kedusha. They went into the Tumah. They gathered all the sparks of Kedusha. They gathered all the godly sparks. They brought everything back and they're unaffected. How can I not redeem them? That's deen. That's strict justice. That's what Yaakov Avinu is teaching us over here. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is speaking to you like you're in Avraham. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu is speaking to you like you're in Yitzchak. And he's speaking to you like a Yaakov. And comes the Maharal and tells us like this. Comes the Maharal and tells us like this in Be'er Golan. He says a person has the ability, sometimes there's a decree on a Jew. A person has to have the ability to raise himself above that decree. You're able to raise yourself above that decree. So you're in the realm of darkness, you're able to raise yourself above that. Yeah, it's like being above the mazal. So now, Am Yisrael is in Galut, right? After Chet HaEgel, when Moshe Rabbeinu, Max, you listening? Yeah. After Chet HaEgel, when Moshe Rabbeinu besieges forgiveness from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, watch this scenario. Remember when we had a question? The question was, why didn't Yaakov accept the plea of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to go up the ladder? Hashem promised you at the end that if you go up, you'll never come back down. It means the story's over. Why didn't Yaakov Avinu, remember this midrash? This midrash was perplexing to all of us. We were all shocked by it. Why didn't Yaakov Avinu want to go up? Hashem said to you, Yaakov, go up and everything will be okay.
He thought it was an angel, no?
So by Moshe Rabbeinu, when Moshe Rabbeinu comes to besiege HaKadosh Baruch Hu after Chet HaEgel, Hashem also says to Moshe Rabbeinu, yeah, I'll forgive you. I'll forgive you, but I'm going to send an angel. I can no longer come with Am Yisrael because if I come, I'm deen, I'm justice. If they're going to sin, I'm going to have to destroy them. So, what does Moshe Rabbeinu say to HaKadosh Baruch Hu? No deal. If that's what you're going to do, if you're going to send an angel, no deal. Don't come, don't do it, don't forgive this. We don't need this. What do you mean we don't need this? What does that mean? Where did Moshe Rabbeinu learn that from? You know where he learned it from? Yaakov. Because you know why Yaakov said no to HaKadosh Baruch Hu when he told him go up at the ladder? Because the providence, the Ashgacha, was going to be in such a format that when Yaakov Avinu saw angels going up and down, he says, oh, I get it. Hashem, you want me to go up and down also. You know what that means? No problem. Yeah, I can go up the ladder, but you know what kind of providence I'm going to have? You know who's going to be my connection? You're going to give me an angel. An angel's going to redeem me. I'm going to be guided by an angel. My providence, my Ashgacha Pratit is going to come from angels. That's going to be my relationship. Said Yaakov, I'm not willing to accept that. I'll go to Galut. I'll go to exile. I'll go into the depths of the darkness. Moshe Rabbeinu said the same thing. You want to forgive us for Chet HaEgel? But if you don't come back to our midst, we're not getting it. You're going to send an angel? No way. We want you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So he didn't go up, Yaakov. Moshe Rabbeinu says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, don't forgive us. I don't care. If you don't come, we don't have a deal. Yaakov says they'll go into exile. Well, we're going to go into exile. We have to go to the house of Lavan? No problem. The 50th gate of Tumah is going to open on us? No problem. But we're not going up that ladder, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, because we want you to redeem us. We don't want an angel to redeem us. I know you're promising me that I'll be like those other angels, because they went up the ladder, each one went up, and I'm going to be the highest angel. I'm going to go up and I'm never going to go down. No, we don't want an angel. We want you. That's why Yaakov Avinu didn't go up. Because Yaakov Avinu went for the whole lot. He wasn't willing to accept the Ashgacha, providence of an angel. He wanted HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. Vaya bayom hahu Hashem echad u'shmo echad. Hashem himself is going to be one. Everything will be HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to redeem us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to bring down the Beit HaMikdash. It's going to be in that day, every Am Yisrael is going to be all Nevi'im. Everybody's going to have a direct connection with Hashem. No longer would anybody have to teach you Dat Hashem. You'll all know HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's because Yaakov Avinu didn't go up. It's because Moshe Rabbeinu wasn't being able to accept to be second class. He wanted HaKadosh Baruch Hu himself. If you're not going to come with us, don't forgive us. Oh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, up the ladder, you're giving a promise. I don't need promises like that. We want you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Comes the Or Gedaliah and tells like this. That's why the word Vayashem li le'elokim. Akadosh Baruch Hu, he says, Yaakov Avinu says, and Hashem will be li for a God, le'elokim within. Peresh Rashi she'achol shmo alai mitchila v'ad sof. Akadosh Baruch Hu, I want your name to be on me from beginning to end. So comes the Sfat Emet and he tells you, you know what that means? This Vayah, he says like this, Ki be'emet kol nechama shi biyad adam ena nechama amitit. Any time that a person goes through a sense of a traumatizing effect or something that needs nechama, something that needs somebody to comfort you, if man comforts you, it's not a real comfort. Shikahu leshakach et hatzara. Because when a man comes to comfort you about an ordeal that you went through, what's he trying to do? He's trying to make you forget about what you went through. Watch the wisdom of Yaakov Avinu. Watch the wisdom of Moshe Rabbeinu. Aval HaKadosh Baruch Hu Baal HaNechamot. Kadosh Baruch Hu is the master comforter. What does that mean? Ki etzlo yitbarach perush nechamau shemare shemeolam lo haya tzara klal. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu comforts you, He shows you that there was never a tzara. There was never hardship at all. Everything you went through was only good. V'chi kol ma shaya nira le'en adam shu tzara, and everything that looked to you as hardship, היה באמת לטובת האדם, וזה נקרא נחמה. And that's what's called comfort. And says the Sfat Emet, ולעתיד לבוא כאשר תהיה הגאולה במהרה בימינו, when the גאולה comes, יתגלה לעיני כל בשר, it's going to become so clear to you, איך שכל המקרים שעברו על כלל ישראל בגלויות היו לטובתם, that everything you went through, all that hardship and the times that you think that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was distancing you, that wasn't a distance. That was Him making you come closer. כי לעתיד יתברר לנו אשר מעולם לא עזב הקדוש ברוך הוא את ישראל. You think the realm of darkness opened up. You think the 50th gate opened up. And you think HaKadosh Baruch Hu left you? וכל הצרות אשר ינבא להם לרע היה ממש לטובתם, and everything was for your good. וזו נחמה אמיתית אשר יגלנו במהרה ויאמר אנוכי אנוכי ומנחמכם. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to come Himself and tell you, I'm the one who's going to comfort you. And I'm going to take you and I'm going to show you how throughout the whole situation, when you thought I was on the sidelines, I was really right there with you. Anochi mo anochi b'tzara. I was experiencing everything with you. I was making sure that you don't totally fall. I was in the dirt with you. And you know why that is? Because Yaakov Avinu didn't go up the ladder. Because if Yaakov Avinu went up the ladder, you would have been with an angel. Yaakov Avinu says, for my children, we're not getting an angel. We're getting Hashem Himself. That's why this is the hardest galut. This is a galut where there's a ester panim, there's a total hiddenness. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants you to be in Avraham. He wants you to be in Yitzchak, and He wants you to be a Yaakov. Because you're right that the Zchut Avot, from one end, the merit of our forefathers, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, is no longer with us. You know why the merit of the forefathers is no longer with us? Because we have to be them. We have to live like Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov now. We can no longer rely on anybody's merit. The people behind us, they did their job. They built the building. It's time to clean up. We've been thrown into a dirty building in order to clean it up. You think HaKadosh Baruch Hu left you? Kadosh Baruch Hu is right there with you. But you have to do the job. And only you can polish the building. That's what Yaakov Avinu's message to Esav was. Oh, you think I went down to the realm of darkness and you think I was affected? It's a Lavan garti v'taryag mitzvot shamarti. No, my friend Esav. I lived in the darkness and my guiding light was Torah. That's why Yaakov Avinu could only go down. That's why the Or HaChaim says that in Mitzrayim, the Jewish people couldn't go down to the 50th gate of Tumah. The 50th gate, they could never be in that realm. You know why? Because they didn't have the secret weapon. What's the secret weapon? That's exactly what Yaakov Avinu represents. Yaakov Avinu is Ish Tam Yoshev Alim. He's a person who has Torah. In this generation, we have something called the Torah. We were given the Torah. And only if you hold on to that Torah, you're able to go down into the realm of Lavan and tell Esavim, Lavan garti v'taryag mitzvot shamarti. Because your guiding light is Yaakov. Your guiding light is truth. Ve'en emet el Torah. The only truth is the Torah. When the Torah is guiding you, then there's a wrong, there's a right. When the mind is guiding you, when your own intellect is guiding you, then everything is allowed. Whatever makes you happy is allowed. This is the generation you live in. If it makes you happy, do it. Oh, I'm not hurting you. It makes sense to me. That's the generation you're living in. That's why he says to us that in the end of days of Mashiach, it's more koach than moach. There's no intellect anymore. Because you see people's intellectual rights and wrongs are so blurred. Yaakov Avinu is giving us a clear message. There's one thing that's going to be able to save you. That's emet. And the only emet is Torah. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is expecting of you. Be in Avraham. Be in Yitzchak. Be in Yaakov. Don't rely on the merit of the forefathers. Live the forefathers. Live Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. And then, Anochi menachemchem. Then you'll be able to get the Geulah B'din and strict justice. Why? Because Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva. Yaakov left his realm. He went to the realm of the Sitra Achra. He went to the house of Lavan and Taryag mitzvot shamarti. He lived in a world with cell phones. He lived in a world with movies. He lived in a world with 24-hour distractions, but he never lost focus. When you do that, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will redeem you.